When I was thinking about what invention should I make a video about first in this channel, I thought what a better way to start by talking about who invented the computer. After all, I'm a huge fan of the PC. I've always built my own PCs, and it is the only machine that I do for gaming, networking, working, etc. So I figured the only fitting way to start this channel off is to talk about who invented the computer. This video will probably be the most contested question when asking who invented something, due to the fact that until this day, there are disputes about who actually came up with the computer invention, or with the idea of creating a computer. Before we talk about who invented the computer, let's briefly talk about the word computing. The word computing was first used in the 1600s, and it was a way to describe people who compute numbers, math equations that we use today, the subtracting, adding, division, and multiplying. These math equations that are so easy for us today, back in the day people had to do them, and there were so many errors and so many mistakes that would happen. And this is how the conflict between who invented the computer starts. It starts with a British mathematician that was also an inventor and a mechanical engineer that went by the name of Charles Babbage. Between 1833 and 1871, Babbage wanted to invent a machine that can subtract and add. The sole purpose of this machine was just to do that. This computer was also supposed to help with tasks like calculating your taxes, because even in the 1800s, you had to do your taxes accurately. Charles was so obsessed with this idea that he had over 5,000 pages on what this computer will be all about, how it works, how it will look, how he's gonna design it, and what he needs to build it. His idea was to create a machine that will compute all these numbers and eliminate human errors when doing calculations. Unfortunately for Babbage, he never got to see the day where his inventions would get built. However, in 1991, at the Science Museum of London, the same exact replica of what would have been Babbage's computer was built, and is actually functioning correctly. So much for using a calculator. This machine that is built in the Science Museum of London and now is on display works and functions just like Babbage would have wanted it to function. And this is where the dispute about who invented the first computer gets thick, is when John Atanasoff comes in. John Atanasoff was born in 1903 in Hamilton, New York, and he was an American inventor and a physicist. While some argue John didn't exactly come up with the idea of a machine or a computer that does calculations, he did come up with the idea of creating a machine that does these calculations at a faster pace. And this is where he started going to creating a digital computer instead of a mechanical one like the one Charles Babbage envisioned. John Atanasoff was the first one to use a digital and electronic idea of a computer. The task of this computer was similar to the idea of Charles Babbage. It was to compute numbers. However, where it is different and it is disputed is the fact that this was powered by electricity and even had a processor to it and a memory, similar to the computers we use today. And this is where the argument of who is the father of all computers comes in. Was it Charles Babbage who came up with the idea, but his was more of a mechanical machine? Or was it John Atanasoff who actually did the idea, but his was a digital computer? While Charles Babbage came up with the idea of building a machine that does the computing, John Atanasoff built the machine with a digital and electric components to it. This is why the idea of who invented the computer is still disputed until this day, and all wildly depends on what side of the coin you see. Our computers today can take thousands of processes per second, something that I'm sure both Charles and John would have never dreamed of or even thought it was possible. Like I've mentioned in the beginning of this video, this will probably be the most contested answer when it comes to who invented something. Now do me a favor and tell me, after watching this video, who do you think should get the title of the father of all computers? Charles Babbage or John Atanasoff? If you did like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment your opinions on it. Also, since this is a channel that is just starting out, sharing the video will do me a great deal. On this channel, Who Invented It, I plan on bringing you entertainment and information, and I will do so by delivering a weekly breakdown of another invention that we use daily. But a great help would be to subscribe to this channel so we can keep it going. With all that being said, I will see you guys next week with a new invention breakdown. Thank you for watching.